Morning. So here's me going for another jog. I say jog. This is better than what I've just been running through. My legs are all scratched to glory because it's overgrown with grass and weeds and stuff. But you know, I'll live. Well, we're just going along here. So I'm parked by, I don't know what it's called, but it's a lift bridge. I'm assuming it's called a lift bridge. So when boats want to go through, it lifts up, the boats go through and it goes back down again. After that, I ran past a swing bridge. So obviously when boats want to come through, it swings to the side and then swings back out again. And now the next bridge I've come along is that. How impressive is that? It's the Don Aqueduct. Honestly, I'm going to be turning into a bit of a canal lock bridge nerd. I think it's so impressive. I mean, all of this stuff has been here for years and years and years. And yeah, oh my goodness. Ah. I mean, I like water and everything, but have you seen the bridge at the foot here? Thanks, Mandy, to get a brave pants on again. Oh, if I walk across it means I've got to walk back. How many miles have I done? One. That's me going across here then, isn't it? Ooh, ooh. Oh, we don't like looking down. Oh, or to the side. He's walking faster now. I didn't like that. Bad bridge. Right, we're walking. Ugh. So call me crazy, but I've just been having a walk around because here you've got the River Don, the River Don navigation, and then the canal that I'm on, which I couldn't figure out the name out for it. And they all kind of intersect slightly at this point here. If not here, then about another 200 yards down the canal. And I'm like, come on, there's got to be some other way to get me over and then over the other side with some bridges that aren't like that one. I didn't like that at all. I did have a parking spot picked out on the canal. I've just managed to have a walk down to it now, and I can't go there because it is literally, it's like this, and I think there's a like a fence gate that you have to put a code in to get in. Looks like it's just a load of moorings. There's a lock there, Barnaby Lock I think it was. A beautiful place to set up and have a mooring, but not a good park up it seems. So looks like I'm about to go back over that bridge again. You don't need to see it again though. Enough panicking one day. This is a little bit better. It's nice and shaded. It's getting too hot already. I had to stop. I say running. It's jogging. It's just above a fast walk, but I'm getting there. But yeah, it is 8:46 and it is already too hot to be doing much in that sun. So I've got my water and I'm not going to be daft. I can already feel like my head goes funny every now and again in the sun, so stay in the shade and we're just going to have a fast walk back to the van and maybe some breakfast. I've not eaten. So yeah. On an unusual note, fishing again. It's cooled down a little bit. It's about 7 o'clock I think. There's jellyfish in this canal. Is that weird? I mean, I'm very glad I didn't go for a swim now. But yeah, I mean, they're like the size of a 10p piece. Tiny little thing, you just see them fluttering away in the canal. About 10 of them I've seen so far. Tiny, tiny little jellyfish in a canal. I'll go Google that when I get back in. And in true Bumble fashion, whether it just doesn't like the heat or not, so using my incredibly useful toolkit, I have taken out this and this. So this is fine, that's not sticking at all. However, this was stuck. The plastic is swollen. It just keeps getting stuck. So that is my job until I can get that thing to sit a bit nicer. I don't care if it's a bit loose once it is not quite as warm, as long as it closes and opens. Hey, that's better. I'll put it back together now. There we go, all back together. Yay! John Blessing was helping me from Liechtenstein, don't you know? And he's just like, just get a nail file. And I'm like, that's so girly. I mean, I do have a nail file, but it's one of those ones with a pointy end on that's really rubbish for actually sanding anything down. And it's just like, well, I haven't got one of them, but I have got a 10-sheet pack of sandpaper. He thinks I don't use this stuff in this van. There we go. That box has just earned its keep. A bit sparkly. I've gone all Edward Cullen. Because as much as the people are lovely around here, I think somebody's just tried to take advantage of the nice weather and to burn a load of green clippings and things off trees and bushes that they've been doing today. I mean, one, you don't set fire when things are this dry. It doesn't matter how controlled you think it is. You don't have fire. This is me. Mrs. Thingy John made a very, very good point, because I came and parked up on this grass yesterday. I did park up in a different spot first and then I moved to this one. But you have to be careful if you're driving over hot, dry grass with a hot exhaust. Who knows what might happen for that, eh? But yeah, so I've got to have all my windows and doors closed, because otherwise this bloody van will stink of smoke. So it's like 10 times hotter now. So I'm glad I waited and didn't have my shower earlier, because otherwise I'd have been wasting water, because I'm going to need another one. So that's Bumble dropped off. Said leave it with him for a couple of hours. So got my backpack, a laptop, a book, some water, and I will go find myself somewhere to sit and chill out for a little bit. And get ready for dogs. Get ready for my work call at 10:30. So yeah, fingers crossed, everyone. As it turns out, it wasn't a simple fix to the van. The mechanic had a look and I've still got to take it in for its new gearbox on Monday. You'll never know that though with video footage, because I decided to delete it all from my laptop when I was being far too efficient tidying things up. You've got to do it once though, haven't you? Good morning. Decided to go out for another run, jog, fast walk, all of those things. Maybe not running, not yet. Look though. What a lovely place. It's so quiet. It's not even 8 o'clock. And yeah, it's lovely. I thought I've got to keep this up. Now I'm doing it, now the hot weather's kind of gone away, and keep up and get moving. But yes, I am at Willow Fields. They have saved me once again. I managed to get my van into a local garage yesterday to have a look at the gear linkages and to double check the clutch and whatnot, to just make sure I don't need to spend the amount of money I'm going to spend on a gearbox if I don't have to. And turns out that my gearbox has come out in sympathy with John's and has leaked all of its oil out and has none left. So it is effectively royally buggered. So it is actively dripping and leaking oil. So I have been advised to stop my little jaunts, even though they're only little ones, if at all possible, until it's done. Today's Thursday. It's booked in till Monday. So I think I'll book in on the campsite and stay there until it's done. So at least that's sorted and I don't have to worry, and it's been confirmed that it is a drive shaft oil leak. So the seal, apparently the new gearbox will come with new seals, so that's all good and well. So yeah, so while I'm here I'm going to make the most of it and get some new fishing gear sent to me while I can have parcels delivered. Ew, I love this little bit. Go through under there. It's like over a little bridge. It's very quaint. Yeah, so while I'm here I'll get some fishing stuff delivered, so when I set off again for a few days after my gearbox has been done, I can then get some fishing done using some new tackle and some new methodology, let's say, for fishing, and see if I have any luck there. And then I'm back here next weekend for the self-build meet to work. So yeah, so it's all good. Everything is good. I better get on with this run before my heart rate cools down too much. We're already back in warm-up, so I've got a big hill coming up. That'll fix it. It looks like it's going to be a busy weekend at Willowfields. I've been helping out a little bit getting things ready. But my sister is going to come over and stay the weekend with me in Bumble. So I'm really looking forward to that. She should be up about tea time tonight. So there's going to be the two of us squished in Bumble. We're having the single bed layout instead of having the big double bed out like John and I shared. So we're going to try the single bed layout and see how we get on. But I've got lots of little things planned. We'll go for a walk into town, maybe get the bikes out and go for a ride to a local pub or something. But yeah, so I'm just going to mainly stick around the campsite because I can't move my van. But yeah, get some bits and bats done and get to spend some time with my sister, because I hardly ever get to do that. So I'm really looking forward to it. Well, that's my sister gone. So I got to spend 2 nights, almost 2 entire days. Just love that gate. Just knocking around. We hit the bar up. We went out for a drive. Managed to get some lunch at a lovely little pub, which I will share more bits on, because I know loads of people come here and loads of people go and try Shepherd's Place Farm for the big Terminator breakfast. But just a little bit further, it is a drive, a little bit further down the road, there is a pub that does unlimited, all you can eat, all day, every day, carvery. So when we got there was 4 meats on, they'd had a meat potato pie, they do a vegetarian option, they put fresh stuff out, because I think we got there mid-afternoon and we had fresh Yorkshire puddings and cauliflower cheese and 5 different kinds of potatoes and all the vegetables you can imagine, and onion gravy and regular gravy, and it was impressive. It was impressive for $10.95. So yeah, that is a good thing that's not too far away from here as well. So yeah, but we've had a good time. So now I think I'm probably just gonna, I'm just gonna sit in my van and not talk for a bit, because yeah, my social energy is depleted for a little bit, but in a very, very good way. It is finally here, Gearbox Day. So it is 6:49 and I am just getting the van ready to take some bits out. I feel like I'm packing to go on a 2-week holiday, when technically, hopefully, it's going to need it for a day. So I'll have 1 overnight stay. So I'm going to calm down a little bit. It's just, I'm not used to packing, you know, it's so weird. It's like how quickly and easily you get used to just carrying your own stuff around with you. So yeah, it's something to get used to. Not for long, hopefully. I've got a couple of other things I might have to pack for coming up in the next month or so maybe it's good practice anyway. So yeah, so getting everything, got some work to do today, so I'll get that make sure I take my laptop and all of those things over, so I can't get away with having a day of not doing anything because I've got things to do. So yes, I'm going to drop the van off. I'm going to put my bike in the van. So I'll drop my van off and then I'll cycle back to Willow Fields and get cracking with some stuff. Well, that's all done. Hopefully I've got everything that I need. Got laptop, got change of clothes, got my shower gear, got some bedding, got my coffee maker, very important, some food, my handbag, all the things I think I should need for, you know, one night. So all that's left for me to do now is empty the toilet, because I don't want it staying in the garage if it's locked up or whatever, and I don't know how warm it's going to get. So I'm going to empty that before I go. And get myself there. I think I've got about 15 minutes to spare, which is not bad for me. Normally I'm like, ride that last minute, girl. But yeah, doing all right this morning. So let's go get this done. And the next thing you see is probably me riding back on my bike. So van's dropped off at the garage. Helmet on. Off I go. I think I'm going to go to Co-op and see if I can treat myself to a nice microwave meal for tonight or something simple. Good morning. How many of you get a tractor in your front room? I mean, it says John Deere on the front of it. I've known he's been Deere for ages, that man. Costs a fortune, he does, honestly. I have just heard back from the garage. It is 7:30. And I've just heard back from them saying Gearbox is in and everything is sweet as a nut and I can go pick it up in the morning. So I am so looking forward to going and driving that van just after hearing what John thinks with his new gearbox in, and see if that's any better. So yeah, roll on the morning. So thank you so much for all your sticker orders. This is half of them. So we've been inundated and it is wonderful. So thank you very much. But this is my favourite part because I get to play with Pritt Stick. I mean, how often do you get to do that these days? So it literally stick. Like this. Not that one because that's not a thing. And then it goes on the back. Like that. So you can tell who's sending it. Good morning. I'm still at Willow Field. I've got my van. It was fun yesterday. Picked up the van and was told everything had gone really well and it drives totally differently and drives like a dream. So I get in the van and I'm like, oh, okay, let's see. Put into first gear, whereas previously, first gear was like, and you're in first gear. Whereas now, first gear is there. So it's just into first gear. So I'm like, oh, is it in first gear? Oh, I'm moving. So yes, obviously I'm in first gear. So then, obviously went for a drive. Found it hard to get into second gear practically 30 seconds after leaving the garage. And my heart just sank. And I'm like, okay, well maybe there is something else. Maybe it wasn't that, but I know I'd had it in the garage on the Wednesday just to double check and make sure that it was. The gearboxing wasn't me assuming so just because of these boxes having bad history with gearboxes. And it definitely was that because it was the drive shaft oil leak. So yeah, I'm like, okay, bit more driving. So I do that. Find it difficult to get into fourth, and I'm like, okay. So pull up in a car park, go to reverse into a parking space. Find it difficult to get into reverse, and I'm just like, for God's sake, okay. I phone John, so I pull over park up in this garden centre, and I phone John. And he's like, oh no, just phone him and tell him, no messing, let's just get it sorted. You know, I'm hoping to go away, very far away from here, after the self-build meet, so let's just do this. So I was talking to him and he goes, just tell me about your drive. So I was telling him, and bless him, he goes, do you think it would be okay just to chat about driving style a little bit? Should we just do that? Because I know that you've not driven, but you know, I've driven this van since I've had it. The other one was John's van, and I probably drove it 15 times maybe in 2.5 years. And before that, I was driving around in a automatic BMW M3. So I've not had lots of driving experience for a very long time, and I am the kind of person who needs to think about things before doing them. Like, the second nature thing does come after a while, but I really do have to concentrate on some things. So he was tiptoeing around me so much, bless him, and I'm like, it's okay, if you think I'm doing something wrong, just tell me. And he goes, well, what speed do you go into second gear? And I'm like, well, I don't know, because I just leave the clutch down. If I know I'm going to turn a corner and I know I'm going to need second gear for that corner, I'll just put it in second gear ready for that corner regardless and just keep the clutch down. So then I got told off for, you know, that's not how you drive. It's not. It's in the highway code and everything, people. It's not how you drive. It's just that this van has let me do that. And now it doesn't, because it's got a fully functioning gearbox with a synchro mesh that stops you going into the wrong gear at the wrong speed. So I'm just like, okay, duly noted. Struggle getting into reverse. Might have still been rolling forward a little bit. Let's go for another drive and see how this goes. So I go out for a drive, really concentrating, looking at speeds and looking at gears I'm going into, you know, like a proper driver should do, really, just pay more attention to it all. And yeah, it drives perfectly well, absolutely brilliant, like night and day, really positive gear changes, notchy button, not in a bad way, you know, it just literally fits lovely into each gear, very positive. No struggling to get it into gear if you are at the correct speed. Pulls like a train. Fourth gear and fifth gear do more now than they did before. Before I was always having to change down. It felt like the van was underpowered, so that must have been a problem with the gearbox before. Because now, not that I was pushing it at all, obviously, with a brand new gearbox, but it just drove like I'd expect it to without it feeling like it's struggling. So yeah. So I am very happy. So what I was going to do, I was going to go off and go fishing, but then yesterday it rained all day. So I decided that I wasn't going to go fishing, that I was going to stay here. So I've helped Gabby and Johnny out a little bit with getting some things ready. And now I'm going to go out and get some shopping. So I've got some food in for the weekend and help them do some more prep. And then loads of people are going to start arriving tomorrow. So yeah. Sounds good. I'm hopefully going to get some stuff filmed this weekend because it seems like it's going to be absolutely brilliant. And I get some company on my shopping trip this morning. Who's trying to creep? Don't make any noise on the gravel, Rob.
Mr. Stout. As he's doing the jiggle.
Yeah, with the jiggle. Don't do that anymore, will you? No.
Do this epic road trip.
Yep, so epic road trip to Aldi.
Yay!
Hey!
Bag.
Oh, and a very bleary-eyed good morning to you guys. I didn't sleep very well last night because I had a million things running around my head. It seemed that after me saying gearbox is fine, I just had to drive it a little bit better. Obviously you saw the end where Rob was coming with me to Aldi. And we drove out to Aldi, up to Scunthorpe, so it's about 25 minutes away. And there was a couple of times that I noticed that it wasn't as I expected. And I know sometimes I have very high expectations because you just kind of expect things to be better if you replace something. And I'm like, oh, it's reconditioned though, and blah, 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 all of this. But I had to double clutch a few times to get it in gear, in first. Second was a bit stiff sometimes. Fourth was grinding a little bit. So I'm just like, right, okay, let's be sensible now and call the garage back. So as soon as we got back, I called the garage and he's asked me to drop it off this morning. So hence the bleary-eyed worrying all night. I think there's that, I know I have a problem with changing plans. I either don't make them because I get fed up of changing them, or I do make them and then I get really upset if I have to change them. So I can't kind of figure it out which one to go for or how best to deal with this plan making malarkey. However, I've got a holiday planned in my head. Obviously I've not booked anything, but it's in my head and I'm going, and it's a long way, and I've got to make sure this is sorted. So each day I think it might be lagging or not going, it's a day less I get on holiday. So yeah, so that was playing on my mind, as well as trying to upload a video to YouTube for John to download for you guys to then obviously watch after he's edited it. And it was processing HD for like a million years. So I woke up at like 3 o'clock and checked my laptop and it was fine then, so I did that and then forgot to send John the link for it. So it's been a bit of a faff, but yes, so I'm going to get there, get to the garage and leave it with him for a couple of hours. It is chucking it down. So as soon as I put this camera down, I'm going to be very cheeky and I'm going to phone my lovely friend Rob and see if he'll come and get me from the garage and fetch me back. I wouldn't mind hanging around if it was just for a little bit for him to do some stuff, but he did say a couple of hours. So yeah, there's no waiting area or anything at this garage, so I can't just set myself up there with my laptop and crack on with it. So I'll make a phone call and then see how it goes from there. Wish me luck. Probably too warm to be wearing a jumper today, but who knows? It's so overcast, my brain's telling me that I need the jumper, but I really think it's 23 degrees in my van at the minute. So I've just got it back. I am in my van. And the guy has adjusted the clutch again. He thinks that one of the mounts for the clutch cable might have moved. So he's gone through, readjusted it, and it really is quite high. And he was telling me how lots of people put the clutch quite low because when you get a new clutch with the auto adjusting clutches, that's where it sits. But with my cable clutch, it doesn't matter. You can choose to have that biting point wherever's comfortable for you. So he's put it quite near the top for me. It's so much nicer to drive. Gear changes beautifully, but I'm not sat right on top of the steering wheel, so my foot can reach all the way to the floor. I know John adjusted it, but he only adjusted it halfway up, so it probably still wasn't in the right spot. But he just didn't have the time to go through the process with me before he had to leave to go and get his channel. So yeah. Anyway, crux of the matter is, drives beautifully. Very, very positive gear changes. Lovely, awesome, nice one. Mandy's going to Cornwall on Monday now. Very excited indeed. But first, I need to go and help set up in the bar because people have started arriving for the self-build weekend, so yay! Good morning. Yeah, my voice has done that thing again. It seems that lots and lots of talking and a bit of singing. Someone brought a ukulele out in the bar last night, so there was a bit of singing going on too. And some really hardcore people, you know who you are, stayed in the bar until 2:15. So I was the dutiful employee and kicked Gabby and Johnny off to bed. Gabby, I think, had already gone off to bed because they get up at stupid o'clock in the morning. I don't do stupid o'clock in the morning, so I don't mind doing the late night thing. So we do make a really good team, I think, when they ask me to come for these big events, because they know that they can just point me in any direction and I'll go do it. And you know, it's just easy. They're so lovely, as anybody that's ever been to Willow Fields will tell you. That they make it here. Willow Fields is them and their vision, and you can see it and feel it in everything they do. And you know, I love the place anyway, but all I want is for them to get what they want and deserve for this place, because they're amazing and it's amazing. So, you know, if you've not been, you need to come and catch some videos about people who have been here this weekend, because I've heard very, very good things from what people have thought of the weekend. I've not seen much of it because I've been behind the bar, but that's been fine because people have been coming in to see me, which has been absolutely wonderful. I've had a load of gifts bought for me, which I still can't get my head around, that people see things in shops and think of me and buy them for me and give them to me. It's thoroughly humbling. For now, another coffee and then I will go and log on for my last day working here. I think this is the last one that I'm booked in for the year, so all the rest of it's going to be pleasure visits. But yeah, go do that, and then start thinking about what I need to take out of my van or pack into my van, because hopefully I'm going to leave to go to Cornwall tomorrow. Do I take my sup board, or do I take my bodyboard, or do I take both? And do I take my bike, or do I take all three? What do I do? So yes, all those things to think about and arrange for tomorrow. It's so exciting. And one more thing before I go. Did you know that John's doing daily vlogs over on his Gadget John channel on YouTube? It's covering all sorts of different topics and things related to what he's doing and the stuff he's got with him. And he's also doing more of like a proper daily vlog style, day in the life of, see what he's up to and things like that. He's still doing the big videos once a week with all the epic drone shots and all of this kind of stuff on this channel. But there's just a little bit of added content over on the Gadget John YouTube channel if you want to go over there and get a little bit more content. But for now, I'm going to go. I'm very excited to get ready and get off to Cornwall tomorrow. I'm having a haircut before I go because the lovely Lorraine is on the field all ready, and I don't think she's ready and prepped now, but she's given me a time. I've got my appointment to go and see her to sit in a camping chair and have a wonderful haircut. So yeah, I can't wait. It's getting all excited now. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week, hopefully with a totally different set of views of seaside and blue skies and beautiful coastline.